what you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 5, volume 1 of The Big Fan, coming to you live on June 20th? 20th, thank you. June 20th, I am Chad Easton. I am a big fan of air conditioning, Taco Bell at 2 a.m., and summer vacations. He is Hank Eimer, and he's a big fan of
Coke Zero, a big silver microphone, and my cell phone.
I can tell you took a lot of time and patience coming up with those three things that you're a big fan of.
Three things closest to me.
They're very close to you. I see them all in your periphery right there. Hank, good to be back to the Big Fan today.
It feels good to be here.
How hot is it outside, first of all? Good Lord.
It is. When you walk out, you're roasting.
Yes.
You are roasting. It is horrible. I think I saw the devil under a tree cussing outside, talking about how hot it was.
Sure that wasn't me just creeping out. Hello, Hank, hello.
Come with me to Bourbon Street.
Yes, follow me, Hank. Well, it's been a couple weeks. Like I mentioned, we're coming to you live on June 20th. World Cup has started.
Oh, yeah.
Have you been watching?
I have been.
Are you a soccer fan, football fan?
I like soccer. I don't follow, I like sitting down and watching some of these Premier League games and stuff. I don't follow it like a lot of people do. But, I mean, I know the major players, and I'm interested in it. But I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fan. But the World Cup, if USA was in it, I'd be a much bigger fan of it.
Imagine.
But my little boy likes Ronaldo, so we follow him in Portugal. You know, where there's a big game like Mexico is playing somebody like Germany or somebody like that, I'll certainly tune into it. But I'm not like most that will watch Panama play China.
Me either, bud. It's exciting just because it's the World Cup and it gives me something to do at lunch. Come over, place a little wager on Iran versus Spain, which is actually going on right now, which will keep the listeners just glued. Right now, 0-0, if you will. 47 minutes in, which means it's second half. 0-0. Iran, Spain. I took Spain. Minus the 1.5.
Oh,
I need a lot of help.
We need some work.
We need some goals here, Espanol.
Let's go.
Come on. So anyway, it's been an exciting World Cup. Just a couple things I'll talk about World Cup. It's the Ronaldo versus Messi kind of duel.
Right.
Two best players in the world. So far, Ronaldo 4 goals, Messi 0.
3 in the first game for Ronaldo.
First game.
Crazy.
Phenomenal. Hat trick by himself. So anyway, it looks like Ronaldo is winning that battle so far, but Messi and Argentina play tomorrow. So we'll see how that game goes.
Yep.
Also going on College World Series. That's more up your alley.
Right.
Been following?
Are we done with the soccer?
We can keep – oh, no. You know what? We're not done with soccer.
Okay.
Hank, because thank you for getting me back on track.
Pulling you back in.
I heard this just odd story this morning while I was doing my morning exercise, which consists of just me getting out of bed and getting a cup of coffee.
Eating bacon.
Eating bacon and maybe an egg or two. Well, I heard that Moscow did not predict or forecast how much alcohol would be consumed at the World Cup.
USA. USA.
So they have underestimated by the tune of they've already run out of beer and there's 2 weeks left. So the beer suppliers can't provide the beer quick enough. So they've already run out. The bars have no beer, Hank.
Oh,
they have no beer.
They would have no Hank.
I guess, and we talked about this a little bit before the show started. We're in Russia for the World Cup. A lot of vodka.
Warm.
Yes.
Yes. Vodka.
Vodka. I think they thought the majority of the folks would focus on the vodka drinking and maybe not partake in as much beer. But little did they know that the American fan base, who bought the second most amount of tickets, and the Mexican folks, third amount of tickets, all came to Moscow and were thirsty.
Hey, they
Very
love
thirsty.
cerveza.
Yes, very thirsty. So anyway, what would you do? I mean, were you going to tell these rabid fans, I'm out of beer? I mean,
could you imagine coming to the stadium, just maybe you had dinner, right? You had a couple. Now dinner, lunch. Had a couple. You're there on vacation, ready to watch the World Cup. You've had a couple. You're feeling good. Mm-hmm. Chad, I'm gonna get us 2 beers before we hit the seat up, right?
Oh yes, sir. Can't wait.
Can't wait. I'll meet you. I'll meet you at the seats.
You got it.
I sit up there. No beer. No beer. Hey, they try to sell me some strawberry vodka drink. No, sir. No, sir.
I might have to leave.
I would leave.
I think I would leave and then go to a bar that would have a beverage that I need. Right?
Right.
Yes. Golly. Russia, you're better than this.
Russia's better than that.
I mean, you're a bunch of criminals. You got alcohol hidden everywhere. You know
whoa.
Hey,
international incident happened here on Big Fan.
Do we have any Russian listeners?
I'm sure we don't now.
I'm sure there's a few in Moscow maybe listening to this. But anyway, let's come on. Just get enough beer for the world.
Right.
The world's coming to your doorstep. Get enough beer.
Get enough beer.
Thank you very much.
I've never. That's one of my biggest fears. I don't want my parties to run out of beer.
Yes.
They're going to let the World Cup. They didn't have more forethought than that.
Right.
Come on.
Right. It's terrible.
Terrible.
Moving away from World Cup, let's go right into College World Series. Give us your thoughts. So we've got the final, I guess, is it 8 teams? Mm-hmm. Is there a favorite? Who do you like out of these teams that we've got left? I think Oregon State and Carolina play again today.
Right.
Carolina got them the first time. What are you feeling?
Well, Oregon State beat them twice throughout the year.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
And so they were hungry to get after them. And I like Carolina. But see, the College World Series is kind of funny because you got to have aces. You got to have 2.
Yeah.
And that's where you run out of it is pitching. And so we'll see what ends up happening. I'm going to stick with my boys from Carolina just because, the good thing is they have history. And if you have history in the World Series, sometimes that plays a big part in confidence and everything else.
Would this change your mind? Vegas just set the number. Oregon State over Carolina, the line is so big, they don't set a money line number. It's just Oregon State minus the 2.5.
Right.
So they're like at 2.5. That's a lot of runs.
That's a lot of runs.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a lot of runs.
Staying with Carolina?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go Oregon State Beavers. Woo!
This is coming from a State fan.
We didn't make it. We got there. Close. Yeah. Maybe next year.
So that's funny. Did social media outtake that I have here? Mm-hmm. Okay. There's a gentleman that got interviewed on ESPN about the weather delays that they were having and how disruptive.
They're having a weather delay right now.
Okay.
Arkansas and Texas Tech should be playing right now. Weather delay.
Okay. So they asked him, how has this affected him? And he was like, I tell you what, it has affected us because a lot of people are taking time out of their lives to come out to Omaha to watch these games. Sure. He was like, you don't know what everybody's done. And he obviously was a comedian because quickly he says, my wife's boyfriend had to sell his prosthetic leg to buy me a ticket to get out here. He's like...
On the spot, he
goes, silver lining, they get to spend more time together, and I get to watch the College World Series. Phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Bravo,
that gentleman and how quick he was, incredible.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, this guy that you're talking about, I'm sure he's probably a father to some fine kids. We had Father's Day last weekend, Hank.
Yes.
Any exciting things happened to you on Father's Day? Because this was your Father's Day, too, and your dad's and your wife's dad and all these other millions of fathers around the world.
Right.
What did your family do special for you?
Nothing.
Mine either.
We did yard work. So Saturday we went out on the lake. We went out to the dock, jumped off the dock, had a good time, but really didn't do much. Had dinner together with my family, my brother, his girls, my mom and dad. So we really kind of had our play day on Saturday. Sunday, kind of took it easy. Mm-hmm. Did a lot of stuff around the house. So I'd like to say that they took me to play golf, or we had a wonderful brunch, or we did have brunch. We did. We went to a restaurant and had brunch.
Check one off the list. Brunch. There you go.
It was wonderful. I didn't even remember it. How about you?
Well, it started off really well. Really well. So my niece turned 12. It was her happy birthday 12 party. And so normally I go to the mountains with my kids on this camping trip. But my daughter said, hey, let's go hang out with our cousin. It's her 12th birthday. They've got a big party planned. Let's go. So we pack up the old family truckster and we cruise to High Point, North Carolina. We get there. My brother-in-law, I walk in the door. He gives me that little smile.
Just that one.
Just, hey, man, good to have you here. It's only 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We got a long day and night ahead of us. But just with that smile, he didn't even have to say a word. Just that look. So get there. I help him get the grill going. You know, there's 12 girls that are 10 to 12-year-olds. A couple girls that are Lucy Rose's ages, 8 to 10, roaming around. They have this big house, great property. They're running around. Then all the adults start coming. So we've got Jennifer's 90-year-old grandfather, 89-year-old grandmother, friends from around the neighborhood all start piling into this house. Well, I'm not a good cook, Hank. I'm normally the person that goes to the grill out to eat and drink and tell a funny story, play music. That's kind of where I fit in. Well, Todd is outnumbered, and he looks at me. He's like, dude, I'm going to need your help on the grill, and I'm going to need it now.
And now.
And it's 90-some degrees. I'm getting close to the grill. I'm sweating.
I was going to say, did you bring a headband?
I should have. And the barbecue towel. I should have brought that too. Maybe a water bottle to spray down. But I'm not ready for grilling out. That's not what I thought I was going to be doing. But I rolled up my sleeves. I dove in. Got the hot dogs on half the grill. Got the hamburgers. Got the chicken on this other side of the grill. And the kids are, well, where's the food?
Yeah.
We want food. Got Jennifer hollering, are the burgers ready yet? Everybody's like, where's the food? Because there's a lot of people that are waiting on the food. Todd says, look at it. Does it look done? I'm like, yeah, it looks done. Slap them on here. This huge platter of food, like probably 14 hamburgers and 24 hot dogs. Went just the first run. We take them inside. I hear Todd's wife, my sister-in-law, these aren't even cooked, blah, blah. Going nuts, brother. Going nuts. So I come back inside, grab them off the platter, put them back on the grill. 4 or 5 minutes. High temperature. They're charred to a crisp. They're terrible.
Hockey pucks for everyone.
So burned. But anyway, we got through it. We cooked everything we needed. I mean, we were literally at that grill for about 3 hours. But while you're grilling, you're drinking.
Especially if it's hot.
Yes, you're drinking a lot. Talking, listening to music. So anyway, we made the most of it. Everybody, they ate a lot of birthday cake. You know, they might not ate a hot dog or a hamburger, but they had a lot of birthday cake. So it was a fun day. Got to hang out with my stepbrother-in-law and stepsister-in-law. Had a ball. They went on that Mexico trip with me, and we really got down. And so we even continued those conversations. We hung out till about 11 o'clock at night, put the kids to bed, and then Todd and I, my brother-in-law, stayed up. I'd say... What are you guessing?
I'm going to say 3:15.
The goal was to go to bed at 3:15. We went till 4:30.
Oh.
We went to 4:30. But it was a great time. Great time. Woke up early, then did the lunch at Jennifer's folks for Father's Day. Then came back to my house at 4 o'clock, my mom and dad's house in Hickory, and did dinner with them. It was a long day.
How'd you feel at dinner?
Not very good. I didn't eat much. Drank a lot of tea. A lot of sweet tea. But anyway, another Father's Day in the books.
Yep.
Check it off.
Check that off.
Check it off.
Sounded exciting.
Yeah, very exciting. So I'm going to go down this list of things that we wanted to talk about today, Hank. And I know one of the things that is very exciting to me, especially when the summer kicks into gear, it's going to the movies to see the summer movie blockbusters. Mm-hmm. Okay, so a couple have already popped out. We've seen the Solo movie. That's the next movie in the Star Wars world.
You've seen this movie.
I have not seen it.
Okay.
Have you?
I have not. Okay. I really would like to see it.
Do you want to see it?
I would love to see it.
So from the reviews, I hear it's just like a 2-star out of 4-star. Ooh. Yes, but that may be, you don't know who's writing these reviews. Still probably worth seeing. I'm going to let it come to our little $53 theater here in Hickory, the Carolina, to see it.
You don't want to spend $65 to watch that thing?
No, thank you. I do not. And speaking of $65, we'll talk about this in a second. Have you seen what they offer at the movie theater now? Not just popcorn and Coke anymore, ladies and gentlemen. You can get wine. You can get beer. You can get mozzarella sticks. You can get a hot dog.
Yeah.
You can get a hamburger, a piece of pizza. Dude.
Yeah.
Sushi? I think sushi's coming up next.
I am not ordering raw fish at the movie theater. I can tell you that.
Where do you draw the line? Will you get a hot dog in a movie theater?
No.
Will you get a nacho?
No.
Would you get a piece of pizza?
No.
Would you get a bratwurst?
Where am I going to put this thing? I can barely. Have you ever? Last time I was in the movies, I saw the Avengers.
Oh,
Infinity War.
Okay.
Right?
We were talking about this. So you like this?
Yes. But let me tell you a funny story. We get in there. We take Harris and one of Harris's little buddies, right? Okay. Movie theater starts. Immediately, Reagan leans over to me and she goes, so loud. And I was like, we are getting old. Don't get into that. It's so loud in the movie theater, right? So, I think it's so funny because you're in close quarters with the people around you, right? I mean, you got people in front of you. You can't kick the seats. Right. And I'm with 8-year-olds, so I'm like, I'm on leg patrol, right? Don't kick the seats, bro. Don't go back and forth like a rocking chair. People behind you, right? But also, when the movie starts, you got to open your candy first, like quick, so it's not in the middle of it, right? So I made a fatal move of not doing it, right? And at the beginning of Avengers, I start opening this thing, and I'm thinking the person on the back row has got I'm going to go down there and whoop his ass if he doesn't get those Twizzlers open in the next 6 seconds, right? Because it felt like 45 minutes of being in handcuffs. Right. I felt like Houdini opening these things
because you're trying to do it slow and quietly, but it's so loud.
So loud.
I can picture it. Is Twizzlers your movie candy?
Without a doubt.
That's Jennifer's movie pick candy as well.
Without a doubt.
I don't eat candy in the movies.
Of course, you don't eat anything.
I don't eat candy anyway, but that is pretty funny. So tell me about Avengers real quick. It was solid.
So I will tell you, I don't get to go see a lot of movies. I know you frequent the movie theater on a random Tuesday and watch a movie.
Sure.
So Avengers was very good.
Yeah.
A lot of action, a lot of characters, right? I think my only advice would be get on YouTube.
Yeah.
And some of the verbiage that they use, they have I think it's like a 5-minute little trailer or movie that tells you this is who this person is, this is the galaxy they're from, this is if you haven't seen all of them, because you've got Thor and Black Panther and Spider-Man and all these guys that are coming in and they've got their own deal,
right?
And you're like, I don't know who these cats are, what's their strength, and then you see them throw lasers out of their eyes or whatever, Right. So I think it would be important to
have a little
watch that trailer
knowledge
when you go in. But it was very entertaining. It was good, and the end is crazy.
Really cool. I have to check it out. So the Guardians of the Galaxy folks, they're in this movie too, right?
They are in it.
How weird. So they got all these worlds kind of coming together.
Right. And what's funny in this is there's humor in it.
Yes.
And they do that in the Avengers, and they do it in there's some humor. And so I don't know where I sit with that. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Is it supposed to be funny? If they're defending the world and they just pop off a joke, because that's supposed to be funny. No, it's entertaining.
I think that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's just entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some other movies that are coming, and I'll tell you the one that I'm most excited about, Jurassic Park, the new one. I think it's called Jurassic World Fallen something or another.
That'll be a good one.
Yeah, Fallen Kingdom. It starts next week. Dude, the trailer looks phenomenal. We're going to go check that one out for sure. Some other things that are coming, Hank. Ant-Man. I'm not really... Was Ant-Man in the Avengers?
No, he was not in there. And Wasp.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
And it's that guy from... who's that?
Paul Rudd?
Paul Rudd. He's Ant-Man? Is he a superhero?
No, far from it.
I guess they're saying just anybody can be a superhero.
Anybody can be a superhero. Shit, Hank, you could be a superhero.
Who knows? What would be my superpower if I were...
I don't know. We'll talk about that
Yours
later.
would be poor singing.
Very nice. Very quick. Mission Impossible, Tom Cruise's fifth one, let's say. Hopefully his last. Actually, they're not bad.
I hope the explosion kills everyone. I don't like him or his movies.
Well, the last one's called Fallout. It starts here in August, so maybe there'll be a big...
I hope he falls out.
Yes, exactly. So anyway, that's our quick movie review for the summer. I'm looking forward to Jurassic...
Incredibles 2 came out too.
Oh, so my family they did see it last week. They loved it. They thought it was fantastic.
Okay.
Yes.
And I think it's grossed more than...
Really?
Yeah, I have to look that up, but I've heard some stat. I don't know if it's more than any other animated movie that's come out. I'm not sure. I'll have to verify that.
Yeah, verify that with us. And,
Will do.
We'll talk about it next week or 2 weeks from now. Thank you for the movie preview, summer movie, blockbuster preview. Hank, we're going to roll right into it. There's a couple of things we want to talk about, but before I forget exactly what I wanted to ask you regarding Hank's hierarchy, which we're going to turn into Hank's moral conundrum this week.
Okay.
Think back. Just about 15 years ago. Let's just go back 15 years ago. We're coming to you June 20th, 2018. 15 years ago, 2003.
Quick math on you.
How about that? Mama didn't raise no fool. So remember what technology was out there. So you've got the cell phone is kind of coming into its own. Before 2000, did we have cell? Let's really think back. 1996. I think I got my first cell phone.
1996.
1996.
So I didn't get mine until like 90. Yeah, probably 2000.
Okay.
After I got out of school. But, I mean, they had those bag phones.
They did.
I mean, they had that stuff in the 80s. They had those,
my dad had one. I thought my dad was the coolest, driving around in his 1984 Ford town car with a bag phone.
Bag phone.
Like, whoa, my dad's really made it. I wonder what he was really using that bag phone for. I've never really asked him.
He had big deals.
Yeah, big deals. Make a big deals.
He didn't want to catch any germs on a payphone.
I guess that's what it is. But my question relates to technology, Hank. Let's go back to 2003, and let's think about the technology that was there and then compare it to today. I'm going to give you 3 options.
Okay.
If you had to revert back to an old technology that you would have to use for the rest of your life, pick the one you would rather have out of these 3. A flip phone. So you're going back to a flip phone. No more smartphone.
Like a StarTAC or like...
We'll go StarTAC flip phone. You can still text on this with those big letters. You remember the big...
Yeah, but you got to hit like the C button 4 times.
At least. So we're going back to that technology.
All right.
You can still text, but no apps.
You remember how fast you got on that thing once you realized you text?
You damn right, boy. You dang right. I'm sorry, I'm getting a couple of texts on my smartphone here. But no apps, no pictures, no videos, none of that stuff. You got a flip phone that you can talk and text. Okay?
You know how many jobs people would still have or relationships people would still have if there weren't, because you talk to an old timer and they're like, boy, I'm glad we didn't have video when I had
Back in my day.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And actually, because of that, I don't like a smartphone, to be honest. You can be had at any point. Like,
oh, yeah.
You're always on call. You're always working.
Find my friend.
Exactly.
Where you at, Chad?
Where you at, bud? I see you over there at the Bourbon Street. Get the hell out of there. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Next up, B. Big tube TV, standard def, basic cable only. No smart TVs, no high definition, no 72-inch mamma jamma with 1,000 channels, no DVR. That's option 2.
You're talking about hand turn.
Hand turn, exactly. Not even a remote control.
Okay.
Hand turn.
Okay.
Basic cables like ESPN being the top. No HBO.
All right.
Basic cable. Or C, any personal computer you own, because you can still have a computer, but you're limited to dial-up internet access. Remember that sound when the dial up?
Oh, yeah.
That's your 3 options, Hank.
Well, 2 kind of outweigh each other because you could say, hey, I don't want dial-up. I don't want dial-up, so
I got my
smartphone or whatever.
Hey, now you're thinking.
Right?
You're thinking. Yes.
Now you could do that.
Yeah.
But if I truly am going to it's going to piece itself together.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather, for sports, watching those crappy TVs, that's tough, man. I don't think that would be the one that I'd want. I think I could do a flip phone. Because then I could tell people, listen, I'm working over here with a flip phone. I made this moral conundrum, and I got a flip phone, but I got really quick internet and a smart TV that I can answer you from. Okay. So I might do that.
Not bad. Not bad thinking here. I'm going to reverse that. So because I have a smartphone, I'm not giving up TV. I mean, I like to watch TV. I can't watch on one of those little box TVs or one of those tube TVs that's basically are used. My mom and dad had this 30-inch tube TV that sat on the floor, and normally my mom would just it would be a planter or it would hold pictures. It's kind of like an end table.
Yeah.
So there'd be a big flower on top of it and a couple pictures of me and my brother playing soccer when we were little. That's what I'm talking about. I can't have that in my house.
I get it.
I need a TV on my wall so I can see my stuff at night when I'm resting and relaxing. So therefore, I'll deal with a little dial-up internet. I'll deal with it because I'll do my internet stuff on my smartphone.
Yeah. Yep.
See where we've gone?
I see where you're going.
Does it make sense to you?
It makes sense to me. Go ahead. Yes. Hey, can I ask a question?
Please.
We're coming here on a Wednesday at 3:30.
Yes, sir.
We're sitting in an air-conditioned studio right now. Why are your sleeves pulled up like you're getting ready to ball?
Do you not see this sweat that's pouring? Dude, I got my pants jacked up, too. Like it's
you got khakis and a polo, and you made that thing look like a wife beater. Come on.
Hey, look at this. Chris, we're gonna need some more air conditioning here or a couple of fans.
No,
the talent is dying here. I'm dying. It's very hot under these lights.
I just needed to know what was going on. I didn't want to see any article.
I'm not ready to ball or anything. I'm just hot, Hank. I'm just
All
hot.
right.
Well, that's what job well done on our moral conundrum. We went back. You want internet? No, you want flip phone.
I'll take flip phone.
I'll take dial up. Okay.
All right.
Very
All right.
good. Next on our list of fun stuff to do, Hank. Let's go right into it. While I'm looking it up. Anything else?
We've got plenty to talk about.
Oh, can we talk about your dilemma with the LeBron James ball?
Yes.
Can we tell our audience the whole story? This is a great story, y'all.
So I have a little bit of dilemma right now. I have a little boy that loves LeBron. Loves him. And pained him when they lost, right? So we get a call from an individual that's in our circle, not in our circle, but we know,
Yes.
saying, my son has a LeBron ball that he would like to sell, and I told him how much your son loves LeBron. Now, it's a signed autograph ball. So I say immediately, absolutely. Hopefully it's a reasonable price, whatever.
Yes.
So she gives me the price. It's reasonable. It's actually low, right? It has an authenticity seal on it. It's got a hologram. I'm like, okay, this makes me feel good. So I get the ball back. I'm like, perfect. I give her the money, get the ball. One night I go on to try to figure out, I want to make sure that this is legit.
Make sure things legit.
Right?
Sure.
So I start pulling up his signature. And every one of them's 2-3 LeBron. 2-3 LeBron. 2-3 LeBron. Mine says LeBron 2-3. Okay, so that's where my heart kind of sinks a little bit.
Sure, red flags pop.
Red flag.
Yep.
So then I call the person on the certificate of authenticity. And I said, hey, I got a question. If this is really authentic, can I send this to you? So I send him the certificate, and a picture of the certificate, the ball, and the hologram. He was like, that's our certificate, without a doubt.
Okay.
The hologram, I don't know because that's not ours. And we always put a hologram on our balls.
Mm-hmm.
So another kind of weird thing. He was like, that could be our seal for another ball that they have placed with this ball. I don't know. Mm-hmm. So all these questions. So I start looking online. How am I going to get this thing legit? Right? I bought it for my son's birthday, which is in July. So I find this company in Florida that's like kind of the must-have authenticators of this kind of stuff. I'm like, now I got to send it to Florida. And how much money am I going to have in this thing? Right. Lo and behold, they're in Matthews, North Carolina yesterday.
Wow.
So I think I've got to do this. So I drive to Matthews, North Carolina yesterday.
Father of the Year. Yes.
Right? With this ball in tow. I go up there and I'm like, hey, this is my story. They're like, that's great. Give me an hour with it. So I went and ate lunch.
Oh, so they want you to leave the product with them so they can really...
Give me an hour.
Let's go back to this authenticator. Is there a line? Like what I picture is, that television show when you're bringing the antiques and they're...
Yeah.
Is it like that?
Well, I guess it could be. When I walked in there were people waiting for him to... That's kind of the hour. He's working on all kinds of stuff, right? Okay. And just sidebar, guy walked in there with a beautiful frame picture.
Yeah.
He was right in front of me. And he was like, I want to see, A, make sure this is real, and B, how much would it be worth? Mm-hmm. It was a picture of Tiger Woods and Michael Jordan playing golf together. Cool. Both signed.
Wow.
I mean, imagine.
Very cool.
I mean, you're talking thousands of dollars.
Sure.
Guy, he was like, you mind if I hold it? And they're like, no. He looks at it for about 7 seconds and goes, this is a photocopy. It's not worth anything. The guy melted in front of me. It was very sad. And then I wanted to laugh. I wanted to be like and then I thought, I'm holding a ball that I paid a lot of money for. Yes. Right? So I hand it to him. I come back an hour later. I was like, what's the deal? He's like, I'm going to tell you. Everything looks right on this ball. Everything looks right. Mm-hmm. The only thing I got a problem with is this is a slow signature. It's tight. It's like you can read LeBron. He's like, LeBron's fast. He does a lot of signatures, and he writes them fast. He said, but that concerns me. But the one thing I will tell you is this is an older ball. This is an old ball. This could be a signature from high school.
What?
He was like where he wasn't signing a lot.
Yes.
And so he would have been very LeBron, his LeBron would have been very deliberate in everything. So he was like, I need more time with this. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to take pictures of it. I'm going to give it back to you. in 2 to 3 weeks, you're going to receive a letter that says letter of authenticity, which means we believe that it is his signature. Or you're going to get one that says letter of opinion, which means that ship doesn't sail.
Got it.
Right?
Got it.
So we're hoping for the letter of authenticity. We don't know.
You don't know. That's exciting.
We don't know yet.
Do you have to pay these people to do this?
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yes. So you pay depending on what it is, and a LeBron ball is more expensive than a card signed by,
Lonzo Ball.
Yeah. Yeah, Lonzo Ball. Right. So, it's just kind of like that. But I left there thinking, okay, this could be really cool. Now, the real conundrum, and me and you have talked about this, is if it comes back. So the letter of opinion means that they cannot say it's authentic.
Sure.
They are not saying it's a fake. They're just saying they cannot tell you that it's authentic.
Right.
Do I still give it to my boy?
We talked about this yesterday, Hank. There's no doubt in my mind you give it to your boy. The reason being, he's going to love it. There is no proof that it's not. There's nothing that can come back that said it's not his signature. It's either yes, definitive, or we're just not sure. Your son doesn't care. He really doesn't. He's just going to say, Dad, you know what, man? This is the best gift anybody's ever given me. And you're going to beam with pride because your son's going to sit it up in his room on his dresser and look at it every night before he goes to bed. Don't take that from him, Hank. Don't you dare.
So it's really, do I pain him now or when he's 18 and he's like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get us some liquor for this weekend and I'm going to sell my LeBron ball.
Well, it works out good for you. Then he only gets $8 for the LeBron ball. He can't even buy a fifth. And so he's not drinking. There's no trouble.
That's a very good point.
Thank you very much.
That's a very good
point. That's
point.
what I'm here for, buddy.
I will let everybody know in 2 to 3 weeks what has happened with the LeBron ball conundrum.
Love it. Love it.
Hi, I'm Alan.
I'm Chris.
And we're the co-hosts of Foot Candle Films, a movie review and film discussion show here on themesh.tv.
Each episode, we talk about some new movies, cover some film news, and have some recommendations.
And trust us, we're just as likely to talk about the latest Jim Jarmusch film as we are the newest Transformers installment.
Hold on, don't get too crazy.
Okay, maybe not that bad. But you can find our show and all our episodes on themesh.tv. Plus, you can subscribe to get new episodes delivered right to your computer or mobile device.
We'll see you in the ticket line.
And let me, staying on the conundrum topic, we got a dog coming. Dog's coming in 2 weeks. We talked about it the last month. I've been promising a dog for our girls. We put the deposit down. We get to meet him for the first time ever next week. It's a male dog. We decided we needed a boy dog because I'm the only dude in our house. I need another boy companion. We can't figure out a name for the dog. We've gone everywhere from Bandit to Lucky to Ace to George to Otis to Milo. We can't get a consensus of what name we want. And it's causing a lot of animosity in our family. I'm not saying fisticuffs. There's been some bad words said between sisters and mom and dad. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
What can we do, Hank, to solve this problem?
Okay. Listen, you've come to an expert at
Thank
this.
you. I knew. That's why I came here first.
You come to the expert at this because I do feel like you're going to live with this name forever. Okay? And you can't you have the liberty to go off the rails a little bit, to get like Ace, Bandit, all that, Lucky. Let's stay away from those.
Okay.
Let's stay away from those.
And why is that? Give me the reason.
I'll make it as short and concise as I can. They suck. Okay? Those names suck. All right? What you need to do is you need to come back with one or two groups. Okay? Okay, we're going to go with humor.
Okay, group one, yes.
Group one is humor. Or we're going to go with group two, which is originality.
Okay, yes.
Okay?
Yes, I like this.
So group one, humor, we're going to put something like you get a small dog.
Yes.
And you call him Rico. you know?
Love it.
Right. Rico is a great name.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
Rico.
Yes.
Strong, steady, little bit of humor. You see him come around the corner.
Yes.
Rico, come here, Rico.
What you doing,
around
boy?
the corner, small dog.
Yes.
Right?
Dig it.
You got something with that.
Got it.
The other thing is make it really odd. Like I personally, if I were getting a male dog, I call him Lil Man.
Little Man would be his name.
Lil Man.
Lil Man. L-I-L man.
L-I-L.
Lil Man.
Lil Man.
Okay.
Come here, Lil Man.
What's up?
Hey, that's your name right there. You got to either stay with something so consistent, like you expect when you call it that a human being's going to come around the corner. Maybe
Sure.
maybe it's Pete.
Yes.
You know?
I thought of Juan. or Carlos. Don't you think that's
I
perfect?
think those are solid.
Thank you.
I think those
so
are
they
solid.
were on my list.
Okay,
Yes.
I think that's not bad.
Okay,
but I
good.
think Rico's
not bad.
could be up there too.
Not bad.
Then we have to start looking at what kind of dog you're going to get, in which we know.
We know, yes.
We know what kind of dog you're going to get. But, don't do cupcake or,
Yes.
brownie
No
or
brownie.
bandit or
Okay.
anything like that. Because do you know when I see somebody with a dog and they're walking a dog and I hear, "Come here, Ace. I want to kick your ass." But if I, you know what I'm saying? But if I hear somebody say, "Brian, quit crapping on that yard," then I'm good with
Jack, get your ass over here, right?
I'm good with that. So
Okay,
let's
makes
stay out of that middle column.
Yes.
Okay?
Stay out of the middle. Now, let me ask you, what is your dog's name?
Scout.
Okay. Where does he fall? Where does Scout fall?
In a horrible dog
think
name.
It fits in the lucky ace bandit category.
I had a 4-year-old name this thing, okay? Nowhere in my life am I ever going to name another dog Scout.
Okay.
Okay?
Scout's really not that bad. But anyway, it falls outside of your group 1, group 2.
Yes.
Yeah, so we need to stay there.
Stay
Stay
there.
focused.
Stay
Okay.
focused. Be in the. You really think this out. But your girls are funny.
Yeah.
Your wife is funny.
Yeah.
Right?
Got a lot of
I
creativity.
I like going the humor route.
Okay. Carlos. I mean, what's more funny than a little dog named Carlos?
I
You know
think
what I'm
it's
saying?
hilarious.
I'll call him Los. I'll call him Carl. We can call him whatever you want to call him.
Los is by far the winner on this
Don't
one.
you think?
I think that is by far the winner.
it. Okay,
The
I'm
problem
taking this back.
is you've been married so long that if it were said out of somebody else's mouth, it comes out with golden dust behind it, right? Immediately, your wife is, you may, first syllable comes out,
Exactly.
no, sir.
It doesn't matter what I say. It's
No,
gonna be,
sir.
And the bad thing, she has trained my youngest daughter to do the same thing. Anything I say, it is the worst idea of all time. I mean, it's uncanny how many I get at my house. It's bad news, Hank.
Yeah.
But I'm winning this one with Carlos.
I like Los.
Thank you. Hello, Los. It already just rolls right off the tongue.
Because you know
Los.
what? The other thing is you're going to be screaming at this dog for 2 to 3 years.
Yes.
Training this
Every
dog,
day,
right?
sure.
Right? You do not want something like Desiree, something that you got multiple syllables. You got to go with something quick and sharp, and Los fits that.
Perfect. Before we leave this subject, so I was told by a big dog lover, maybe the biggest dog lover of all time. He said you got to go with the 2-syllable dog name because like Spot or like Gus, they won't listen to you. They need more syllables. The dog. Is that the craziest thing you've ever heard? Like, it needs to be at least 2 syllables so the dog will understand that you're talking to it.
Biggest dog lover says that 2 syllables needs to be used. I would give no credibility.
Thank you. Okay.
You're like Catwoman says that more cats are healthier for your lifestyle. Tell this person to leave your life.
Oh, what an answer, Hank. Thank you. Thank you for making me aware of what I need to do as being a pet owner.
I need to box out your friends.
You know this guy very well, so he'd be
I
boxing
think I
out
know.
a good friend of yours.
I think I know this guy.
Oh my gosh, this is wonderful. All right, buddy. Oh, last thing before we move on to Chad's champions and we'll get the hell out of here because I am sweating bullets. Let's talk about a little text etiquette. Now, we talked about technology earlier. I feel like I'm a pretty good texter, meaning
No, you wait too long.
okay, there you go. So what qualifies a good texter? I just want to respond. The reason I'm bringing this up, several of my good friends, I'm putting them in quotation marks, I'll send a text to directly to them. They'll never text me back.
That's bad.
That's bad. Is there a time frame that you should respond under proper text etiquette? If I sent you, Hank, hey, podcast at 3, what do I need to bring? Let's say. When should you answer that? How much time?
I'll give you an hour or 2 hours.
2 hours.
Yeah.
That's proper text etiquette.
Listen, if I'm holding my phone and you read it and you don't, I don't know what the setting, I don't know the setting that says read, then I'm ready to whoop your ass. Right. But, because all you got to say is nothing. Right.
Right.
But 2 hours, come on. You might be at work. You might be on a phone call.
I give a day. I'm saying some cats that I'm sending text to, they haven't, it's been 2 weeks. And I'm like, hey, I really need to know this. Hey,
Yeah.
hit me back. 2 weeks, nothing. They will call on the phone and say, "Hey, man, I got your text. I was just really busy." Come on.
How busy are you?
How you can send nothing, just like you said.
But we've all done the, hey, that's a little bit more involved. I'm going to have to sit down and write a text back for him, and then you forget.
Absolutely. But if it's a recurring motif that every time you send a text, should you, and this is, of course, they're always going to be my friend because this is one of my bestest friends in the whole world. They're just terrible texters. And I've told them, you're not a good texter.
Yeah.
Do I just quit texting in general and then just stay with the old traditional, I'm going to call you on the phone?
Well, that just, that reminds me of one of our good friends, too.
Yes.
He will not pull his phone, and I don't know if you can feel my anger rising
rage,
right
I see
here.
it. I see
He
it.
will not pull his phone out of his car. Okay? Okay? It's a car phone now. It's a car phone.
You might as well have a bag car phone, right? Just like my dad had in the 80s.
Exactly. Sure. Okay? So it's a car phone. So if you're going to own this thing, right?
Yes.
Take it with you.
Sure.
Take it with you. So the idea behind the texting is I don't think you should ever go back to not texting your friend. I think you just say, hey, what do I bring to the podcast? If you don't answer me, I'm bringing a grenade or whatever it may be. But you just say, hey, listen, but you know what? We have another good friend that she will text me. She works with me.
Sure.
She will work, and she will send me a text. And if I don't text her back in like 30 minutes, she sends a cricket that is going chirp, chirp. Or she will pound me like, I need an answer.
Come on, let me know.
So, maybe you annoy. I know you don't want to do it.
I can't be that dude. I can't be that dude.
I don't want to be that dude either.
Yeah, so I just hope this person in particular is listening, and I mentioned this to you a million times. Just text a brother back. That's all you got to do is text the brother back.
Hit him back.
Thank you. Thank you for your advice on dogs and technology. Hank, you ready for Chad's Champions?
Do you think you could get the song for Chad's Champions like on your playlist? So every day you don't have to search for 17 minutes?
I think it's here. I think it is. Look, how long did that take?
Not long.
3 seconds, thank you. Here we go, Hank. June 20th. Let's pop in right immediately into Chad's Champions. Now, last week or 2 weeks ago, we had the Quentin Tarantino top 4 movies, right?
Right.
This week, we're going to come a little bit closer to home. Little something that means a lot to you. That's a sub sandwich.
Love a sub sandwich.
Right?
I love a sub sandwich.
Love it so. So in this fine area of Hickory, North Carolina that we live, there's some mighty fine sub sandwiches, okay?
Sure.
We're not going to limit ourselves to the big brand names like Subway and Jersey Mike's or Firehouse. We want to, anybody that makes a sub sandwich in Hickory, North Carolina, it could be a pizza place.
Yep.
It could be another type of sandwich shop. Shoot, it could be an Italian restaurant.
Right.
I need your top 4, Hank. Your top 4 sub sandwiches in Hickory, North Carolina. Drum roll, please.
All right. You
start us off with 4.
I'm a man that knows his way around a sub. Okay. I appreciate a good sub, and I think that it's probably always in my wheelhouse. Okay. Sure. So I will probably, for number 4, I'm going to pick the best chain one.
Like it.
Okay?
Good.
So we're talking about Subway, Jersey Mike's, Firehouse. Probably missing the cut is Which.
Wow. I've never been. I've always wondered what a which sub sandwich would taste like.
Very good.
Very good.
They're very good, but
Just
they didn't make 4. Didn't make 4.
Okay.
It's very good. So I'm going to go with Firehouse. I think Firehouse makes a very good sub. I am a Italian, I like an Italian sub, right? And they steam their subs. Incredible. Hey, doesn't hurt. It's in Viewmont. It's close to me.
Also, kids eat free.
Kids
Tuesday.
eat free.
Come on. There's nothing better.
Nothing right.
Hank, perfect, buddy. My 4th selection. Smart brains think alike. Firehouse. Firehouse comes in at 4. I like a toasted sub with melted stuff on it. That's where I'm going. Firehouse. Number 4, very nicely done. Number 3, Hank.
I think, a lot of people don't know this little this little place because it is probably off the beaten path.
Yes.
Okay? And they could get confused with one. But I'm going Substation 2.
Great selection here. Substation 2, it's been around since the 70s. People overlook it all the time.
Yep.
You just forget about it.
Well, it's tucked in a mountain.
Exactly. There's a huge hill, just surrounding it. So you would forget about this place. The reason I remember, and it didn't make my top 4, but it's the close 5. I remember when I was a young buck, my dad would swing by Substation 2 when my mom was in. My mom went to get her master's degree at UNC Charlotte when my brother and I were like in elementary school. So my dad didn't cook. So Substation 2 was on the menu basically Monday through Thursday when my mom wasn't there. Eating a lot of Substation 2. You know what? Screw that. They moved up to my number 2 spot.
Number
Substation 2.
You jumped 3.
I jumped 3. I go at 2. When you hit 2, I'll go back to 3.
Okay.
Ready? Let's go to 2, Hank.
Wow, that was unprecedented.
I just had that memory. You just flash back. I was like, dude, they can't be out of my top 4.
That was unprecedented.
Yeah, unprecedented.
That was
Thank you.
ridiculous.
Yes. Wow.
Okay, so now we're on my 2.
Yes.
Okay, so kind of a toss-up between 2 because you have a more traditional sub in one of them and a more new age sub sandwich, right?
Sure.
So I think I'm going to go with the place that probably does the best traditional sub.
Yes.
In my number 2 spot, and that will be Dante's.
Dante's coming in at number 2 for Hank, and my number 3 spot just happens to be Dante's.
Oh, my gosh.
So Dante's coming in at 3 for me, Substation 2. Let's talk a little bit about Dante's. This is a good thing to do. The babysitter's coming for the kids. You're going out out at night. Order the 13-inch sub. Get another, like maybe a medium cheese stick, Throw a piece of cheesecake. They're only going to eat part of the sub. They're going to leave half the cheese stick and the cheese sticks, the whole
late night
cheesecake.
snack.
When I come back, it's all in the refrigerator. Pop it in the microwave. We got a midnight stack, Hank.
I dig it.
Boom. Okay. Now we're saving the best for last.
That's right.
Hank's number 1 sub sandwich in the world is.
That's quite a statement, seeing that we're talking about just Hickory. But I would say that I am a big fan of this place because they may one day have a sub on the specials. They might have a cheeseburger. They might have other sandwiches that on the menu, but they also have other subs, Italian stuff like that. I'm going with Hatch.
Wow. Upset of the year. Can you tell me why Hatch?
I got to tell you, it's a turn on a normal sub. They're number 1 because they're creative.
Yeah,
I mean,
creative.
a sub is a sub. I love a good sub, but the Italian there, awesome. Plus, I'm getting to the age where it's hard to take down the big stuff anymore. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I gotta be manageable.
Yes. I like Hatch too. They've created this banh mi. It's a Vietnamese sandwich sub there. It's fabulous, and they also have this really funky Reuben that they do. So anyway, Hatch, good choice.
Thank you.
I'm going old school here, Hank, for
Here we
my
go.
number 1 selection.
If you go Subway, I'm walking out of this place.
This place has probably been out of business since I was in high school, but I just remember how good it was in high school. It was a place beside the old Texaco, all right, and it was a place where we would go after soccer practice or maybe before we went out on the town Friday night, just a handful of us. Haven't seen one around for about 20 years, but the memories I have of this place called Steak and Hoagie would never leave me. And I just remember how good before it closed, we got one of the last subs they made in there because we knew when it was closing. We went to check it out. I'll never get that taste out of my mouth, Hank. So that's why Steak and Hoagie is number 1 in my heart.
So the only thing that confuses me is that you decided to choose best subs in Hickory, and you chose a closed restaurant that nobody can go to or has no knowledge of? Okay, sure. I'm going to change my number 1. Dolphin's Cosmic Subs. Best subs ever. You'll never taste it.
Love it. Love it, Hank. Hey, I'm a nostalgic kind of emotional guy. I don't eat much, so all I have are memories of meals, right? That's what really fills me up, if you will, Hank.
My
It
gosh.
really fills me up, Hank. Oh, what a great podcast this has been today. Hank, I don't know. I did mention to you this earlier this week. We got our first huge fan response demanding they want this show once a week. Not once every other week. Once a week. Did you read that email?
I did. It's very telling.
Yes. I think the people have spoken.
People have spoken. The person has spoken.
That one person who I might kind of know has spoken. So, anyway, we'll talk.
Appreciate that, though. I mean, come on.
So kind of you, girl. I know who you are, and I appreciate the kind words. And we'll talk to the management here, and if they could bump our salary a little bit, hey, maybe we'll bring it to you more often, right?
I think we ought to ask for AC first.
And maybe a water. Maybe one water per show. We'll split it. That might work. But anyway, I love doing this podcast with you, Hank. It's always fun.
Always fun.
Can't wait to see you again in 2 weeks. Anything else we need to talk about this weekend?
What are you doing this weekend?
I don't think we have really any big plans. We're going to try to go to the mountains to cool off a little bit. But Jennifer's tennis team made the state playoffs. So they start tomorrow in Winston. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, so I'll be kind of around town juggling the girls a little bit, but while she's playing tennis. But who knows? Saturday we might go up to the mountains. What you got?
Well, I am taking my son he's doing his very first summer camp sleepover for a week.
Wow.
All I'm going to say is I'm excited for him, but I'm more excited for me, baby.
Wow, good for you. Where's he going?
He's going to a camp called Rockmont, which is Western North Carolina, which I heard some crazy stat. There's like over 150 of these camps in Western North Carolina, summer camps in Western North Carolina.
Over 150?
It's just, you imagine, I mean, we live in the best state in America.
Yeah, I agree.
And you imagine the atmosphere up there. And these camps are not on 2 acres. They're on 300 acres.
Sure. Tons of stuff to do.
And so, I'm excited for him. He's nervous. I don't know if you ever went to camp.
I went to one camp in Colorado, but I was a teenager. I was a sophomore in high school, so I never went to camps when I was little.
Yeah. So I went when I was little.
Yeah.
The nerves are all there, and his nerves, he's like, I'm nervous, but I'm excited, and I want to go, but I'm going to be nervous. And he's going with a buddy.
Yes.
So it'll be good. So we drop him off on Saturday.
Wow.
And we were thinking about, I don't know, dropping him off because you have to have him dropped off by 10.
Yes.
Maybe driving Sierra Nevada. I don't know.
It could happen.
Yes. Maybe have lunch at Sierra Nevada.
Perfect.
Maybe go do a brewery tour.
Yes, sir.
And come back.
Wow. I like where you're heading here.
I don't know.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
My daughter is on a church retreat. What do they call them? Mission trip. We dropped her off yesterday. You know Olivia very well. She's my oldest daughter. Just smart as a whip, very creative, but has this big sensitivity to being away from home.
Mm-hmm.
So she tried one of the sleepaway camps and told us it was the worst week of her life, that this was 3 years ago. We should never do that to her again. Well, we sent her on this trip yesterday, and she locked herself in the room for a good 6 hours. She said, I ain't going. And I was like, Livia, come on. You got to eventually overcome this fear. Yeah. You cannot. And her
buddies are going, right?
Her best friends are going. But it's just, I think what gets in her head. And me and Olivia were when I was little, I was a lot like very similar to Olivia.
Except the knowledge and education.
She was how smart she is. And a lot more creative than me. But her comfort zone is our house and her family.
Right.
And she's got friends, but she always knows where home is. And just the thought of her being away from that comfort zone, it worries her.
Yeah.
She's
it worries you, probably.
Of course. So anyway, last night was the first night. We did get a text that said, we're here, I'm okay. And then we went silent.
Radio silent.
So hopefully she's going to get through it. Livia, think about you, girl.
Think about you, Livia.
Think about you, Livia. All right, buddy. Well, great podcast. Enjoy your weekend. Hopefully Sierra Nevada works out well.
Let's hope.
We got our fantasy football meeting coming up this week, which you can't attend. We'll tell everybody, our listeners, about it in a couple weeks. Looking forward to that. And I'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Peace.
You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at themesh.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.